All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another deep dive.
Yes, hello.
You ready to go deep on this one?
Always.
Okay, fantastic.
Hmm.
Um, Today, we're diving into the world of Bollywood thrillers, specifically a new movie called CTRL.
Okay.
And for this one, we're taking all of our information from a review on MovieKaTicket.com too.
Mm-hmm.
And we love a good screenlife movie.
Oh, yeah. Big fans of searching.
Searching is so good, and it seems like CTRL is kind of in that same vein.
Yeah, taking that format.
But bringing it into the world of social media influencers and that whole world.
Ooh, very timely.
So that's what we're going to be looking at today, is
Okay.
this review from MovieKaTicket.com and kind of going through and seeing what they had to say about CTRL.
Mhm.
And by the end of this, hopefully you guys can decide whether or not you want to add it to your watch list.
Awesome.
So to kind of set the stage, the movie is about this social media influencer
Okay.
named Nella.
Yeah.
She's living like the influencer dream life,
Living the highlight.
perfect kind of aesthetic. Everything's going great for her until she finds out that her boyfriend is cheating on her.
Oh, no.
I know. And so already just from that, it's like the digital world is so intertwined with what's happening in her real life.
Absolutely.
And then it just kind of spirals from there because she finds this app called CTRL.
CTRL.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
This app can basically erase people from your entire digital existence.
What?
So you could just completely make someone disappear from the internet.
Wow, so it's not just like blocking someone. This is like they
They never existed.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's intense. And I mean, I just have to ask you right off the bat, would you ever even think about using something like that?
I mean, it's tempting, right? Like, we all have those people we wish we could just, erase from our past or whatever.
Oh, totally. Exes, people who've wronged you. I'm sure everyone has a list.
Right, but the implications are huge. Like, who gets to decide who's erased, right? Like, what are the ethical considerations there?
Totally. And that seems like a really big part of what this film is exploring.
Yeah, and MovieKaTicket.com actually highlighted this one line from the movie that I thought was really interesting. They said, delete the past, control the future.
Ooh.
And that really captures it, right? Like, the promise of this technology is control, but that's also kind of terrifying.
Yeah. And it makes you wonder, how far would someone go
Right.
to kind of maintain that control?
Right.
It's
a slippery slope.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the review also talks about the performances.
Uh-huh.
They're praising Ananya Panday and Vihan Samat.
I've heard good things about them.
Yeah, it seems like they really blow this whole world to life.
Oh, that's cool.
Like the influencer world and just all the drama that comes along with that.
Because it is a whole world.
Right. Yeah, you mentioned Searching earlier.
Yeah.
And how that movie was kind of a big deal for the screenlife genre.
Yeah, I really put it on the map.
Right. And it seems like this film, CTRL, is also kind of tapping into this larger trend we're seeing in movies and TV shows.
What do you mean?
Of really exploring the dark side of technology and how it impacts our lives.
Right, like Black Mirror and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's not just a Bollywood trend, it's like a global...
It's everywhere. Yeah.
That's interesting.
And I think what makes CTRL unique is that it's doing it within this specific context.
Yeah.
Of influencer culture and social media and that whole world.
Right.
So now the review also talks about the director, Vikramaditya Motwani.
Okay.
And how he uses all the elements of the screenlife format to kind of really amplify the tension.
Yeah.
You're constantly seeing notifications and video calls and messages and all that stuff.
Yeah, you feel like you're right there in it.
Right. And so it really kind of creates this feeling of claustrophobia and urgency.
Oh, wow. Like you're trapped.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And speaking of adding to that feeling, they also talk about the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Which apparently is super unique.
Okay.
It's got this mix of artists like Sneha Khanwalkar, Amit Trivedi, even Yashraj Mukherjee, who does those viral meme songs.
Oh, wow. So it's like a really eclectic soundtrack.
Yeah, and they played a snippet of one of the songs in the review called Beat Ass.
Oh, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, let's hear it. Brief 10-second snippet of the song Beat Ass plays.
Oh.
So good, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
It's very unsettling.
Yeah.
Almost anxiety inducing.
It's like the soundtrack to a digital meltdown.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
But yeah, so it seems like the music really plays a big part in creating that atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure.
But, beyond just the thrills and the cool music and everything, this movie also seems to be asking some bigger questions.
Oh, like what?
About identity and fame and the pressures of social media.
Ooh, that's interesting.
How much of our online persona is really us.
Right, like are we all just curating these perfect versions of ourselves online?
Right, and like, is that healthy?
Yeah, is it all just a facade?
Exactly. And I think that's something that a lot of people can relate to.
Like who hasn't felt pressure to like present a certain way online?
Right. And the review even mentioned that one critic called the film like a digital mirror.
A digital mirror.
Yeah, reflecting like our deepest insecurities.
Wow, that's deep.
I know, right?
But I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It makes it more than just like a fun thriller.
Yeah.
You know?
Right, it's making you think.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we like.
Exactly.
So what was the final verdict from MovieKaTicket.com?
Well, they gave it 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah, so pretty good. They said it's a must-watch for anyone who's ever felt overwhelmed by the digital world.
I think that's most of us at this point.
Pretty much. Yeah, and I think, we talked about a lot of the ethical consideration
Yeah.
and like the big questions that this movie is raising. And it just makes me wonder, like, if an app like CTRL actually existed in the real world,
Right.
like, what would that mean for society?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Would people even use it? Or, like, would it just cause more problems than it solves?
Right, like where do you draw the line?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's something to think about.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're interested in a thriller that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat, but also, like, make you think, then definitely check out CTRL.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does. So thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.